graduated university last summer, and for the past 3 months, I've been working in London. Moving away from university and venturing out into the big city has been a huge transition. From having structured days, commuting, not being able to see my friends as often anymore, it's now hit me that I've entered a completely new stage in my life. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited to see what's ahead, but I'm also very unprepared and just a guy navigating through his 20s. So what does my day even look like? Well, let me show you. On the days I have to go into the office, I wake up at 6 a.m, get ready, and head out to the train station.
Yeah, sunny days, no clouds in the sky, but again, away feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Sunny day, make way. All the stress and doubt, yeah, not today. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm gonna be on break. Got the Tropicana, fresh cut sushi on a platter, brandy, honey, it don't matter, shots till I drop, gonna be 24/7 golden.
I probably should stop spending money on coffees, but I really like the emptiness of some of the coffee shops in the morning, and just sitting inside watching the busy streets for me is just such a vibe.
Chilling with the hottest company, they all wanna welcome me to their private penthouse suite. Yeah, now I got the key. Rooftop pool, got a heli on speed. Ocean view from the highest peak. I'm complete, oh I want this to stay. Please don't go away. No clouds in the sky, about again. Away feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me cause I'm...
As soon as I get in, I'm hungry, and I make myself some breakfast, and then start working. It's kind of awkward filming in the office because I'm new there and no one knows I like to make videos, but pretty much my morning is catching up with my team, knowing what my priorities are for the day, updating my workflow, and just getting started with my project work. I'm still new to my role, so it's still in my probation stage, which should end by November. Which basically means you're given a number of months to prove yourself. If the company likes your performance and your progression, then you basically get to stay on for a permanent role. But it's also quite a good way for you to kind of decide whether this is a right role for you. Most people, the probation period is roughly around 6 months, and I've got a few months left on mine, and so far things are going quite well. One good thing I like about my work is that time seems to go so fast, which means lunch comes around quick. So at this moment in time, the UK is actually experiencing extreme heat waves.
The Met Office have issued a red extreme heat warning because of the risk of dangerously high temperatures both by day and by night.
There's been weather warnings of extreme droughts, lack of water. Everything is kind of going to chaos. But me and my team, we normally go down to the park just to have lunch and chill. It's quite nice, especially when we don't actually get to experience warm weather like this, so we gotta enjoy it while we can. And then it's back to work. But first, it's coffee time. At this point, I'm pretty sure I'm not affected by caffeine anymore, but it's become a habit, and I need to stop. I work for the rest of the afternoon, emails, meetings, the same drill until I'm done. One of the good things about living in London is that some of my friends actually work nearby, which means it's quite easy to meet up with them, and I haven't seen my friend in a while, so I went to go meet her. Okay, now, how was the transition from going from university to now working in London?
It's been quite enjoyable. It's nice to have like a nice work-life balance and just staying organised on top of things, and I feel like an adult. It's really weird. Whereas like in uni, when you have no responsibilities, you go out on Tuesday night, get really drunk and it doesn't matter. Whereas now you've got responsibilities and you have a job. And my job in particular, it's really chill because it's not like you need to be here 9 to 5. It's you work on your sort of terms. Like if you've got a meeting, you've got a meeting. But if you don't feel like working in the morning, or like you want to take it easy and then work later, it's fine. When it comes to socialising with friends, I'll do that in the evenings, like weekday evenings. I'm already out, I might as well meet up with some friends. Because I think even though I like to be sociable, I still need time on my own. So just having a balance and planning it as well is really important. If I want to do it, it needs to be put in a calendar, or like it needs to be organised, otherwise I don't.
Do you like living in London? You're not even... Wait, so where are you from?
So I'm from Birmingham, Do I like living in London? Interesting question. I have a very love-hate relationship with London. I like London as a city. I do really enjoy it here. I think it's so much fun. There's always something going on. I don't like how busy it is and the cost of living. I like my commute, which is actually really unpopular opinion, but I do like my commute.
That's definitely not unpopular. A lot of people hate the tube.
I don't get the tube, I've got the bus. It's like a bus and then a 20-minute walk, so it's nice, especially when the weather's nice and we haven't had any rain in so long. Like, I don't know what it is. I feel like because it makes me feel like an adult. I think I like that. Like, I'm like some. You know when you're in a movie when you see like people in New York and they're like going down these
literally
streets. That's how I'm like, oh, that's me.
So navigating through your 20s, what does that mean to you, and how are you kind of utilising it, experiencing it?
Very interesting question. I was thinking about it a lot this week, but I think we're in a really odd position because our 20s started off in a pandemic and like COVID hit, we were in lockdowns, we weren't enjoying ourselves like a normal 20-year-old would like to. So it was really odd and really strange. And then we finally came out of lockdown, we're out enjoying ourselves, started working, actually like enjoying our 20s. And right now we're at a point where it's like recession's hitting, cost of living's rising, and you want to go out and enjoy yourselves, but you also need to survive. Like, how do I enjoy my 20s? And it's fun because you can get creative with it, so you can think of new things to do, or like other things to do with your friends that aren't going out drinking or like not going out for food. Long term, like the next few years, I'd like to travel a lot, live at home, not have to pay any rent, and use that money to then travel, and that's how I'd then spend my 20s. So I'd like to live abroad for a few months and try new experiences, like hike a mountain, I don't know, like do whatever I want.
I actually got like a lot of inspiration about traveling and everything from Guinea. You actually did inspire me a lot to travel. I was quite fortunate this year to do a bit of traveling, but I know you've just gone to Barcelona, your last place.
Yes.
But you've also visited.
I went to Milan earlier this year. That was our first like post-COVID trip. I went to Edinburgh, which isn't abroad, but it's still like somewhere new to me. Went to Croatia. It's like a little town called Zadar, but that was so much fun. It was like you still get to see the culture just by doing that. And then my upcoming trips, I'm going to Greece next month. The month after that, I'm going back to Croatia, but I'm going to split instead, so a bit more popular, a bit more party.
That's so sick, because like I love traveling. I think it is so much growth from traveling. So no, it's really good to see you doing it and inspiring other people like myself. She's done solo travel, which is something that's on my bucket list. I just want to mention that I'm not always as sociable. I do value time by myself a lot, even though in my YouTube videos I'm hanging out with my friends and I'm just doing stuff. They're always just highlights rather than every single day to day. Well, that's social media in general. And also a couple of years ago, a friend of mine told me that it's good to do something by yourself at least once a year, if you can just do like an activity or just hang out by yourself. One day I'd love to try solo travel like my friend's done. I just think it's such a cool concept, being in an unfamiliar place and there's nothing but the opportunity to just adapt. Having said that, I still need to adapt to that before I get to that stage. But I literally would just go grab food, table for one. There's something so calming about having food by yourself and not having to worry about anything but just enjoying your meal. But that's pretty much a day in my life. Although there's a lot of structure in my working life, I do like to balance that with unstructured moments. I think it makes things a lot more interesting. I like to meet up with my friends or just enjoy my own company. I think happiness has a lot of different meanings. But one of the things for me is that you have the power to create your own happiness. I know I'm still very new to the working life and I've only been in the big city for 3 months. There's still a lot to explore and a lot of growth to be made. But this is a journey that we're all going through. And I'm just like you, navigating through my 20s.